Agree.
To move over to the next game here on this slate, we got Broncos at Dolphins. They're going to be playing down in Miami. Miami is 6.5-point favorites. 48 is the over under for this one. This one's interesting to me. I personally, I like the Dolphins minus 6.5. I think that the Broncos defense is not what anyone really thinks it might be. If anyone even does think it's a
Mm-hmm.
competitive and
Mm-hmm.
legitimate defense, I don't really believe so. I like Patrick Surtain for sure, and they do have pieces. Randy Gregory, of course. But with that said, I think the Dolphins are this is an offense that is just going to produce. I know that you're not the biggest fan of Mike McDaniels, but I have to say it. I love the guy. I think he's hilarious.
He's a
He's
loser.
such a but he's like a Gen Z as a head coach. Like it's the first one we've ever seen that has been like this, and I think it's so funny. I
I
love him.
think he's such a little creep. So everything he does, I just think he's a creep. But he is one of the best offensive minds in the league right now. That scheme he
Yeah.
has
Oh yeah.
for that Dolphins offense is just insane. It's nearly impossible to stop.
Yeah.
This game I also find interesting. I find it to be fascinating, and I think the result of this game is going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Broncos to win this game.
Wow. Okay.
I think we saw.
Is
I
this
think we
Tipsy
saw.
Bowl of the week?
This might be Tipsy
This
Bowl of the
might be
week.
Tipsy
This
Bowl.
might be Tipsy Bowl of the week. But Sean Payton and that Broncos offense, they were figuring out in the first half of the game against Washington. We saw the vision, I think is the right way to put it. We saw what they were going for, and we saw them achieve it to some extent. Now, Russell Wilson completely fell apart in the second half,
Yeah.
but it's going to come in stages. It's going to come in waves. It's not all going to work out right at once. They literally have to fix Russell Wilson and try to make him 70% of what he was in Seattle. Because last year, he was one of the worst quarterbacks, if not the worst quarterback in the league. And Sean Payton isn't going to fix that in 2 weeks. But we saw the remnants of it, and we saw some of the seeds growing on in the first half of last week. And I think we see them explode this Sunday. I think they're gonna be all over Miami. I think the defense gets energized by the energy that the offense is bringing. I see Denver winning this game around 27-24. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think Denver finds a way to win it.
So it's interesting. We are kind of on completely different sides for this one, which I love because that just shows you anything can happen in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL, and it's going to be a good game if we're both on opposite ends like we
Yeah.
are into this one. Exciting to see. Dolphins have been great so far. This offense is just dangerous, and I do think that it's important to mention the fact that the Dolphins won last week against the Patriots, leaning more heavily into that running game.
Yep.
It says a lot about what this offense is
Shows their
capable of.
versatility. It shows a lot of versatility that I don't think many people
100%.
thought they had.
No, you're right. And that's a biggest thing too for them because now that they could prove like, hey, look, we could do more than just throw the ball downfield to whether it's Waddle or whether it's Tyreek. I think that's a huge sign of versatility, as you mentioned with them, and they're going to be a good team for the rest of the season.